I'm Jim Bowles. I operate Jim Bowles Custom Homes out of San Antonio and Bernie. Today I'm going to show you a home which is in the Dominion, which is on the north side of San Antonio. We have what we consider to be a Santa Barbara home. Well, that's defined to me by two things. First, it's defined by the architectural elements that are put within the design, the heights of the roof pitches, the shape, and then second, it's defined by the finishes that we put on the home. We start outside with a white stucco accompanied by a stone underneath it, and then we used a clay tile multicolor roof above. We have the rafter tails sticking forwards and they're all exposed without fascia boards. As we go towards the front door of the house, we're using larger stones in the larger areas, which is surrounded by some cut stone details. As we approach the front door, we're allowed to be able to do a lot of unique details. First, start with the cut stone on the outside surround. We bring that into the surround around the front door here itself as well. The front doors are alder with 33 panels per door, so there's 66 panels as you approach this door. With the wood stain on the door, we accompanied that with the wood stain on the ceiling as well. And then on the floor, we used a reclaimed used Chicago brick to give a different tone and texture as we come to the door. As we enter into the entry, the first thing that's recognized is we brought the exterior elements to the inside of the house. You're greeted through the front door with stone walls. Then you see immediately a 10-foot by 10-foot window looking out into the private courtyard of the rear of the home. Up higher, we have cut stone ledges with accent lighting. We have a unique tic-tac-toe ceiling above made out of all timber beams. On the floor, we have a diagonal patterned white oak stained floor. As we come out of the entry, we're greeted into the living room side of the house. Specifically in this room, we have unique beams which are floated off of the ceiling just a little bit to allow track light system to go on top to allow a really good ambient light in the evenings. Followed this behind me, we have a full masonry fireplace. We have windows that go all the way down to the floor. We have a huge door back here which overlooks the pool and the entire backyard. The dining area was designed specifically with this table in mind to be able to have enough room for the table and the chairs. We took the windows behind it and we dropped those all the way to the floor, and we put awnings on the bottom so they can open up, allow airflow through the bottom of the house on the bottoms. We also developed a curtain pocket for the curtains to go up inside to give a real clean look around the stained grade windows that you see over here. Here we have a unique bar. It's centered with the wine storage in the back, with the racks, with limestone rocks surrounding the rears and the sides. Forward of that, we have the iron doors which were welded together to fit this spot specifically with the glass on the face of it. Just flanking that, we have storage cabinets for all the stemware and some of the liquor bottles. Forward of that, we've got a unique piece of mesquite here. This mesquite countertop is 11 feet long and it has a true waterfall edge on the end where you see the grains of the wood continue all the way down to the floor. Just forward of that, we have a very unique steel plates where we have steel, we have brass surrounding it, we have backlights behind it, we have a brass foot rail. It just gives a really unique spot for people to enjoy their company of their friends. The centerpiece of the home is the kitchen. We start with a large kitchen island for entertaining family and friends. We have a sink with brass faucet within the island. We also have another large sink on the other side with another brass faucet. We also have a 5-foot wide refrigerator freezer section. Just above that, it has a TV above. The centerpiece of the kitchen is the vent hood. The vent hood is zinc, which is a live finish, which is surrounded by brass accents. Underneath that, we have the 48-inch gas grill. Then above on the ceiling, we've got these great timber beams, which goes up to a cupola above, which has 8 windows up in there. Then the ceiling is 33 feet high off the floor where we're standing and has a very unique wood ceiling. The intent behind that was to always flood this space with light so you have a lot of natural light flooding the house. We have a unique fun game room. It's a large space, so we started with flagstone floors, which are large format stones to be able to fulfill the space well. Next, we went into the fireplace for the masonry. The fireplace has got a lintel above the firebox, which was designed and hand carved by a local artisan. Then underneath that, we have natural stone ledges, which create the legs underneath that. Above that, we have some antler chandeliers, which were commissioned from an artist outside of Cody, Wyoming, specifically for this space. Those chandeliers hang from some really unique beams that we were able to capture. The beams that we have in this house were 54 foot long when we got them. We took 4 of them, we cut them down to size to be able to fit the space, and we installed them appropriately as they needed to fit into this room. When we cut those beams, I counted the growth rings, and one of them I counted 172 growth rings on. And what's unique about that is the tree is round. Then the growth rings, when you cut the tree, you're going to wind up with a square piece. So you're losing some of the outer rings. So it's guaranteed that tree was older than 172 years. Then we know this beam was repurposed from another building. So we can assume the tree's been somewhere else for 100 years. If you take the 100 years, the 172 growth rings, average out a few other years around there, and then some other gap years, because who really knows exactly what the time is, and you add all that up, these trees were seedlings in the early 1700s. Those are the type of unique details that we like to use in our homes. The goal in this space was to create a boutique hotel suite as the guest bedroom in this home. We started out by designing a larger space than you typically would for a guest suite to allow for the big king-size bed, the end footers, the flanking chandeliers on the sides. Above, we have a chandelier that's made out of shells. We also have a unique ceiling with small little detail steps. As you go into the restroom of this space, we kept that same theory, and we separated the sinks and the toilets and the shower to be more like a hotel suite where you can have multiple people in here enjoying their stay at this house. The details of this home did not stop when we got into the master bath. You're first greeted by a bathtub sitting on the floor with a window just behind it. Then you have the stone walls surrounding that area as well. Next, we go down to the floor, which are little concrete 4x4 tiles, all laid in here one at a time. Then we go from the floor up to the countertops, which have the blue and pink hues of the floor. Then we go into the ceiling, which has got a wood detailed ceiling with these great chandeliers hanging from it. All the chandeliers and all the accent lighting in here is all set on dimmers, so you can adjust the light just right for the evenings. To include dimmers that we have inside the shower, inside the shelf niche, where we have a light strip in there too. Just outside the shower, we have an outdoor shower as well, which is lit in the evenings with landscape lighting. Who doesn't enjoy a great outdoor patio? Here we started with a fireplace to keep this patio warm in the evenings and when it's cool. Great TV above, has a huge chandelier just above. It's got the same timbers that we had inside the house with accent lighting so that you can get the ambient light just right out here. When it's a little too warm, we mounted fans up on the sides to be able to oscillate and blow back and forth. And then from here, you lean straight on over to the secondary patio, which is more of the eating and cooking patio. And then from there, we flow right on out to the pool to where all the family and friends can really enjoy themselves here in the summertime.